Hi, thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be taking a look at role security and how you can best utilize roles inside of your Sales Fusion account. Roles can be used for a variety of different purposes, including navigation access, data access, report access, and dashboard access. We're going to be walking through building a marketing role, a sales role, and an admin role, and then we're going to be talking about the CRM admin role as well, and discussing how we create and what are the best practices for each. To start off, we're going to create a new role. I'm under the Administration tab. I went to Administration, and I clicked on Roles. Once here, I'm going to go ahead and select New in the upper right-hand corner. The first role that I'm going to create is going to be for sales, so I'm going to call this a sales role. Description can be anything of your choosing, and you click on Save. You can see that it saves my role, but now I need to go inside and edit it. Click on Edit, and it takes me inside of the role properties where I can go ahead and begin setting my properties. The first thing that you're going to see here are 4 checkboxes, and each of these 4 checkboxes control a different aspect of the system. The first one is data access. If I check this box, then that means that all users that are assigned to this role will be able to see each other's campaigns, templates, contacts, leads, accounts. All of that data will be shared between them. Navigation access means that I'm controlling the navigation that they see up here at a role level rather than an individual level. When this box is checked, you can see that navigation access appears over here to the right. I can then come in here and start assigning what permissions do I want sales to have inside of Sales Fusion. As a best practice, sales should only be looking at certain things such as the marketing dashboard and maybe the web activity dashboard. If you are using an external CRM, there is no reason for sales to have access to your Sales Fusion account. If you are using the Sales Fusion CRM, then you still want to limit it to such as the CRM, so that they can log activities. If you check over here on the left-hand side, you'll see that all of the properties within that category get checked. And you can come in here and uncheck different areas if you don't want them to have access to it. Calendar, call down, you'll see that all of these, if I click on the CRM tab, are available here. So you can see what you're limiting, what you're allowing them to do, and what you're not allowing them to do. Again, with sales, you want to keep it very basic. You don't want to give them a lot of opportunity to be able to mess with too much inside of the system. CRM admin, they do have to have access to this Administration tab for them to use the CRM admin functions. So if you give them CRM admin, make sure you give them full admin functions inside of their individual user record. I would come here. Dashboard, again, is a good thing for them to be able to see because they can see the campaign dashboard, which they may or may not need to be able to see. Global dashboards, lead dashboard, social, and web. Dialogues, there's really no reason for your sales reps to be able to edit or create new dialogues. Same with events and lead analyzer. These are more marketing tools than they are sales tools. Coming down to e-marketing, this would be an option if you want your sales team to send mass campaigns, which more often than not that would be a no. Again, we have marketing admin. So we have CRM admin and we have marketing admin. The marketing dashboard, the sales rep should have complete access to, and this is the dashboard that shows an individual's web activity, campaigns that have been sent, did they open, did they click, along with scoring summary. These are things that will help a sales rep know why a record has been qualified and what they should reach out to that person about. There's really no reason to give them access to the reporting, Social Fusion. Tools, if you are allowing them to log into Sales Fusion, you want to give them access to change their password. You may or may not want them to be able to control their email subscriptions. Preferences, search, and time tracker. And occasionally the web dashboard is something that you want sales to actually take a look at so that they can just glance at it and see how your web activity is going. This would be, again, ideal for a sales role. Not too much access, just enough information to let them know why a record has been qualified. The next area here is dashboard access. If this is checked, then all users within this role will be able to see any global dashboards that are associated to this role. And then we have report access. This is if users within this role have created custom reports, then they will be able to see each other's reports. If this is not checked, then they don't get to see each other's and they only get to see their own custom reports. Let's go ahead and save and return. And let's go ahead and create a marketing admin role. So I'm going to select new. We're going to call this one marketing role. Again, put in a description, and then we need to edit the role. When I click on edit, I have the same options. Do I want them to share data access? Meaning, do I want them to be able to share campaigns and templates between one another? Navigation access, dashboard access, and report access. For a marketing role, you want to give them the ability to create campaigns, set up dialogues, set up templates. You may not want to give them access to the CRM. If they have no part in logging leads, creating opportunities, then there's really no reason for them to have access to this. CRM admin, again, that is more for admin functions, which we're going to be creating next. Dashboard, you may or may not want to give this to a marketing, but I would probably say yes, since they're going to be looking at campaigns and such. Dialogues, if they are going to be creating your forms, then you need to give them access to the dialogues. This gives them the ability to create the dialogues and have them available to be used inside of campaigns. Event management, if you have the event management as part of your subscription, then this would be something that they would need to have access to. Please keep in mind that if you have, let's say, call an event master, somebody that sets up nothing but events, they will still need access to the dialogues and they will still need access to the e-marketing because the event comprises of the dialogues and the campaigns. So we'll check that one. Lead analyzer. This may be something that you want your marketer to set up, or it may be something you want your admin to set up. If you do want them to be setting up your lead scoring, then you would check this box and they would have access to create profiles and modify profiles. E-marketing is definitely important. This is where they'd be setting up your campaigns. They'd be looking at the statistics, they'd be creating your list, you'd be utilizing the dynamic content and uploading images and such. So as a marketing role, they should have full and complete access to the e-marketing tab here. If I come down here, again, we have marketing admin, and this is something that I would hold off on and only give to the admin people. Marketing dashboard, they may want to see this, so I would check that box. Reporting, if you have your marketing team in charge of creating custom reports, then I would check that. Tools, you still want to give them access to set their preferences and change their password. And web forensics would be good as well. And again, this would be for a standard marketing role. To add a user to this role, you come back over here to users. You would find the user, and you would say add user. This person now has access to this role. If I were to add another person, add them in there as well, then these two users are able to see each other's items. So both Kevin and Chad can see each other's templates, campaigns, contacts, leads, dashboards, and reporting. If we have Tom here, Tom cannot see any of Kevin's items and any of Chad's items because he does not belong to a role with them. Tom would only be able to see items that he had created inside of the system. If I hit save and return, let's go ahead and create an admin role. So I'm going to select new. We'll call this one admin role. Put in a description and click on save. We edit the admin role. And again, you would check your boxes to share data, navigation, dashboards, and reporting. And usually with the admin role, what you're going to do is you're going to check everything because you want this person to have full, just in case they need to create a campaign, modify a campaign, look at the CRM, check out the dashboard, they do need to have full access. You'd come back to users, you would find your user, and you would add them in here. Click on Save and Return. Now there is one additional role that I highly recommend creating, and this is a CRM admin role. Creating this role and anybody associated with this role will allow you to see everybody's items, but they can't see yours unless you're part of another role with them. So if you click on Add CRM Admin Role, right here, click on Edit. You would again check all of these boxes, go to Navigation, and check All. And then you would come down here to the users and add in what users you want to be a part of this particular role. Chad is now able to see everybody's items, but unless he shares a role with them, they can't see his. That gives him a global perspective. You can also add all users, so if you're not too concerned with security roles and you want everybody to be able to see everybody's items, simply create a global role and then add all users here, and you'll be able to see that everybody gets added and nothing is limited. Roles are definitely important, again, especially if you have your sales team inside of here using the CRM. You want them to be able to look only at their records and nobody else's. So if I have 10,000 records in here that I own, I can only see those 10,000. I can't see Joe's other 5,000 in there as well. As a new customer, this should be one of the first things that you create when you log into your account. You want to make sure that everybody has a role assigned to them for navigation as well as for data sharing. We do have a great Learning Management Center over here on the Learning Management. This is where you can watch recorded videos about roles. You can also get some additional information. And over here on the Help tab is an online help manual where if you need a quick reference, you can't remember what the roles are, you can type in a search term and it will give you all the possible areas that it's mentioned. As always, I thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great day.